with the news with Gary Liberatore and meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining us here on this Wednesday. I'm Gary Liberatore.
And I'm Storm Tracker 2 meteorologist Eric Gage.
And I remember on Monday, you said Monday, Wednesday, Friday looked pretty good.
So far it stands, Gary. Today's looking pretty fantastic.
Yeah.
Lots of sunshine today. In fact, look outside. Yeah, we have a few clouds to deal with this morning, but we'll see a lot more of that clear sky moving in momentarily. Temperatures are starting out in the 60s, so not as warm as yesterday morning, but we're going to see that temperature rise fairly quickly. A zoom into local temperatures: 71 at Sylvan Beach, 61 Otter Lake, and 62 up in Long Lake, 65 Little Falls, 62 Cooperstown, 63 Sherburne, and 64 in Oneonta and Richfield Springs. The radar at this time, again, looking dry. That stationary front, or that cold front turned stationary front, is currently impacting the I-95 corridor, parts of New York City, but again, it's staying to our south and east, and we're not seeing any of that today. As I mentioned, so far, 4th of July looking fantastic weather-wise. You have any plans? How about these for temperatures? Lower humidity, 70s. It's likely going to be a top 10 day of the year. So how about that for any 4th of July plans? Still, though, today, although it's going to be a little more humid, it's going to be sunny out. Enjoy the nice weather. Temperatures in the 80s. Grab that t-shirt, sunglasses. We are tracking again some potential for storms tomorrow. We'll explain the timing and how much we'll see in that full forecast. Gary?
Eric, thanks. We expect an update today on the condition of
This live look of downtown Cooperstown is brought to you by the Leatherstocking Credit Union.
Welcome back. Time now is 5:10. As you head out to work today, we're going to be encountering some areas of patchy fog. It's not really widespread, but some of you, especially south of the Mohawk Valley, might be encountering it. We take a look at some area cameras here. There's that fog in Oneonta early today, but aside from some passing puffy clouds this morning, we're going to track a lot more sunshine by this afternoon. A look at the traffic tracker early today. There are no incidents to report of this morning here in the Mohawk Valley. Lots of green across the board, and the radar also looking dry early today. So what we're looking at here, a few lingering clouds this morning in patchy fog, which is going to end as we head into this afternoon. That fog lifts, sunshine moves in, and those temperatures go from the 60s this morning up into the low 80s. So you got a beautiful day on tap today. Yes, it's still going to be slightly muggy out there, but we're tracking what could be a top 10 day of the year for the 4th of July. Before we get to that, though, we have a few storms we're tracking on Thursday. The details on that in a few minutes. Gary?
Eric, thanks. The Albany Symphony.
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good morning, everybody. On this July 2nd, we are starting to see a few clouds wisp away and sunshine move in. A live look at downtown Utica early today. Here are those clouds moving through parts of the region, and temperatures starting out today in the mid-60s. Humid conditions, too. That cold front that moved through yesterday didn't really decrease the humidity that much, but the one that's going to arrive tomorrow will likely do the same. The radar right now, again, looking mainly quiet across the area, and while weather looks quiet today, we'll talk about July's changing weather. Now, yesterday, the average high sits at 79 degrees. So any temperature we see on the 7-day forecast is above 79 to start July is technically above average. By the end of the month, 81. So this is the warmest month of the year. Our sunrise and sunset times, yes, they change a little bit. We go from the sunrise of 5:25 to 5:51 by the end of the month, and sunset goes to before 8:30. But still, we have plenty of daylight. We only lose about 45 minutes, which is not that bad. But still, again, we are in the midst of summertime, so we got all that warmth and even as well some of that humidity. Muggy conditions today and tomorrow. That secondary cold front Thursday is going to push away a lot of that moisture. So in fact, by the 4th of July, it's looking rather nice. So here's the setup right now. There's that cold front along the Atlantic coast. Here locally, it's dry. Here comes that secondary front on Thursday. The storms and showers aren't really widespread, but still, we're to keep a close eye on them. We have a level 1 out of 5 risk for severe weather. Biggest risk would be some of these slow-moving storms that have the potential of producing heavy rainfall. I would say similar to the storms we saw yesterday. Some of them, if you really call them storms, mainly were just heavy downpours with a rumble of thunder, if that. A lot of bark and no bite. So hopefully the same for tomorrow afternoon. We zoom in here in the Skycast. You can see the behavior of these. We look ahead to today. It's dry, it's sunny, temperatures in the 80s. Beautiful day today. That cold front moves through Thursday. We're going to see that arrive. And again, you see the showers and storms are not widespread. That's the key here. Then as we head into Thursday night, into Friday, here we go. 4th of July morning, we start in the 50s. It's a cool start. We warm up into the mid-70s by the afternoon with low humidity, lots of sunshine, easily a top 10 day of the year for the 4th of July. And no rain's expected, not even after sunset. It's a completely dry day. So a lot of you looking forward to that for your 4th of July plans. 7-day forecast. This weekend itself actually looks not too bad. Might be cutting it close for rain chances on Sunday, but overall Saturday's looking dry from start to finish. At least the start of Sunday looking dry. So overall, this will be a very nice stretch. This could be one of the nicest weekends, or at least ahead of the weekends we've seen in quite a while. So
we deserve it.
Yes.
Eric, thanks. The time right now is 5:19 since again, and thank you for joining us for this half hour. I'm Gary Libertor. How are we looking on this hump day, this holiday week? Meteorologist Eric Gage over in the Weather Center. And Eric, I think you mentioned it's going to be pretty nice, right?
Oh yeah, pretty nice to put it lightly. We got sunshine and dry weather for the entire day today. Let's take a look at the current conditions out there this morning. A little bit on the cooler side in the mid to low 60s in parts of central New York. But we have some more sunshine moving in and, most importantly, dry weather on the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 live radar. Some pockets of fog, especially as you head down to parts of the southern valleys closer to the southern tier, the usual spots where that fog forms on days like today. And just zooming out so we can see where that actual rainfall is, that front that passed over us yesterday is now stationary along the Atlantic coast. So if you live in New England, well, you got all that rainfall, but here today, we've got all this dry weather. Plenty of sunshine today. Plenty of sunshine for the 4th of July. This forecast looking absolutely fantastic for any plans for the Independence Day. 70s throughout the day with lots of sun. Still, though, today, T-shirt weather. Before we get to that nice weather on Friday, we have to track a cold front moving through tomorrow. We're going to look at the timing of these showers and storms, if they're widespread, what we can expect coming up in a few minutes. Gary?
Eric, thanks. And don't forget, the Storm Tracker 2 forecast is never more than 10 minutes away each morning. The House of Representatives.
Channel 2 is brought to you by Holland Farms Bakery and Deli.
This live look of downtown Cooperstown is brought to you by the Leatherstocking Credit Union.
Welcome back to Sunrise on this Wednesday. Our photo of the day today takes us to Lake Delta. Amazing shot here of a normal rabbit enjoying a sunny day. This is sent in by Kira. An amazing photo of nature. Great zoom up shot here. If you have a photo like this you'd like to share with us of nature, of sunrises and sunsets, I'm going to share potentially one of those in the next coming days. Send it to WKTV.com/weather/pics for the chance of your photo featured right here on News Channel 2. It's Sunrise as well as on our social media platform. So we look ahead today, plenty of sunshine. It's still going to be slightly humid out there. We look ahead to Thursday, tomorrow, and there's potential for a few storms arriving in the afternoon. They don't appear to be widespread, but the chance of them passing over us and the fact that a couple of them could be on the stronger side as they push their way south and east. We're going to closely monitor that, but not a very high risk. We look ahead to Friday, 4th of July, looking pretty nice there. Sunshine, temperatures in the 70s. And as we look ahead to the weekend so far, looking pretty nice as well, climbing up into the low 80s. We have a look at those storm chances tomorrow and a lot more detail coming up in a few minutes. Gary?
Eric, thanks. July is ice cream.
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good morning, everybody. Time now 5:49 as you wake up this morning. It's a cooler start in the 60s, but looking at lots of sunshine and warm temperatures today. Downtown Utica, live view outside, blue skies mixed in with a few clouds, and those temperatures, again, in the mid-60s. Humid, technically, and we're going to see that humidity rise a little bit today before that cold front moves in tomorrow. Radar looking pretty dry across central New York, and while things are quiet today, let's take a look at how July changes from the 1st to the 31st. And no big changes. The days get slightly shorter, but it's slightly delayed when it comes to temperatures. We're going to warm up to our average high of 81, but as warm as we get all year long with that average high. Sunrise and sunset times, yes, the sunrise gets later, sunset gets earlier, but we're still looking at pre-6 a.m. sunrises and pre-8 p.m. or post-8 p.m. sunsets. So we lose about 45 minutes, so it's not that bad. In fact, it's still going to be pretty light out during the evening hours, similar to what we saw last month. Humidity still muggy for today and tomorrow. By Friday, though, we're going to see a dip down with that secondary front moving in. And we can see it right here. There's that cold front that moved through yesterday. It's stationary out to our east. The secondary one we'll see come in from the northwest. Here it comes. It's going to move its way south through our area, produce a few showers and storms tomorrow. And then following that, it dries out with a north wind. We see north winds in the summertime. What does that mean? Well, it means beautiful weather. But again, before we get to that, on Friday, we got to get through these storms. And at the little 1 out of 5 risk for severe weather, this is not something that alarming. In fact, it'd be similar to what we saw yesterday. Those storms, mainly just heavy rainfall, maybe a few rumbles of thunder. Nothing too concerning with these. So look at the skycast today. Clear skies move in, highs in the low 80s. Then that front moves through as we head into Thursday. We start out dry in the morning. That front moves through in the afternoon. Then by the evening, it dries up, it clears out, aside from some lingering showers in the North Country. And then Friday, see that north wind kick in. That means low humidity, lots of sunshine, and a top 10 day of the year. So beautiful, gorgeous weather for the 4th of July. As of now, it stays dry for much of the weekend. 80s for Saturday, sunshine, warming up into the upper 80s by Sunday. Probably one of the nicest 3-day stretches we've seen landing on a weekend probably since last year. So this is some good news for a lot of us. And as long as the weather pattern holds, beautiful 4th of July weekend.
Definitely timely.
Yes.
Eric, thanks. A former local high school
With Gary Liberatore and meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining us on this Wednesday. I'm Gary Liberatore.
And I'm Storm Tracker 2 meteorologist Eric Gage.
And on this hump day of a holiday week, we are looking at a nice day, huh?
Yeah, beautiful day today. Yeah, maybe a few storms tomorrow, but sunshine was in again on Friday. It's looking to be a pretty nice stretch of weather. Let's take a look at those temperatures as you look outside today. We begin in the 60s. Not too bad out there, but I guess a little cooler than yesterday morning by any means. The sun moves in, though. We got sunshine across the area, and it's to be expected for much of the day today. We zoom in, North Country, upper 50s, low 60s, Mohawk Valley, mid 60s, 71 the outlier at Sylvan Beach. That might be more than an outlier, it might be the weather station reporting some false information there, but it is going to be in the 60s and 50s early today in much of the southern valleys before we warm up quickly. Radar looking dry. We zoom out. That front that produced rain showers in our area yesterday, now down to our south, producing widespread rain along the Atlantic coast. So today's looking nice. How about the 4th of July? Probably even nicer. Yeah, it's slightly cooler, but humidity drops. going to be a top 10 day. So if you have any 4th of July plans, cookouts, whatnot, you got a great day for it. But for today, though, you head out, grab that t-shirt, sunglasses. It's great t-shirt weather today with high temperatures in the 80s. Again, we're going to time out the storms that arrive tomorrow, if they do arrive at all, coming up in a few minutes. Gary?
Eric, thanks. We expect an update today on the condition.
This live look of downtown Cooperstown is brought to you by the Leatherstocking Credit Union.
Welcome back on this Wednesday morning. Time now is 6:11, and as you head out to work today, you got pretty quiet conditions. Not tracking any rainfall. The only impacts really this morning, what you're seeing in parts of the southern valleys primarily. We'll take a look at Oneonta and in Cooperstown, mainly Oneonta, where some of that fog in those hilltops are being reported. So just a heads up, you'll be encountering that, especially if you're traveling in the southern valleys early today. Across the area, green here in the Mohawk Valley, traffic flow, no traffic incidents to report of. And as you look on the radar, dry conditions early today as that northwest wind shifts to more south wind this afternoon. Still though, temperatures in the 60s this morning with patchy fog, climbing into the low 80s this afternoon. We're still with humid conditions. Again, we're keeping a close eye on a cold front that pushes through tomorrow. We'll track the impacts, the rainfall with it, and what follows for the 4th of July in a few minutes. Gary?
Eric, thanks. The Albany Symphony Orchestra.
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good morning, everybody, on this Wednesday. Sunshine, plenty of it's expected today. In fact, we see some of it outside right now. A live look in Utica. Blue skies moving in, and temperatures this morning in the 60s. So it's not too bad out there. A little cooler than yesterday. Slightly humid as well. This is going to be the humidity level for the next day or so before we might see a bit of a break in it. We'll show that in a second here. First, though, live look at the Yorkville Battery live radar. And as of this time, it's quiet here locally. Those showers and storms are staying well to our south and east toward New York City today. So when it comes to the changing weather for July, we've got highs on average rising a few more degrees, 81. It's about as warm of an average high as we get all year long. So this is the warmest month of the year. Now, although it's the warmest month, yes, we do lose daylight a little bit. You can see the sunrise and sunset times here decreasing in total about 45 minutes, which isn't really that bad in the grand scheme of things, besides the fact that we're going to see those overall average temperatures rise. Late July is the warmest time of the year here locally. So we still have some pretty muggy conditions, or at least humid conditions, for today and tomorrow. Then, by Friday, a cold front, or at least Thursday, a cold front moves through, bringing in drier and comfier conditions for Friday. So, as we look at the bigger picture here, there's that cold front, as I mentioned, passing through much of the East Coast. As we look ahead to tomorrow, a secondary front rolls through. In between those fronts, we've got some dry weather today. But still, as you look ahead to tomorrow, there's still the potential for a storm or two to be on the stronger side. This is a similar risk to what we saw yesterday. It's not high, but we're just going to monitor the radar tomorrow afternoon as this front moves through. Nothing very concerning with this. So on our Skycast today, plenty of sun, high temperatures in the 80s. By tonight, it's quiet. Tomorrow, we'll be seeing that front pass over us in the early afternoon. And again, similar to the way the storms were yesterday, not really that widespread. You might miss them entirely, but still, we'll closely track them. Have some lingering late evening rainfall in the North Country. We head into Friday with that north wind setting up and lots of nice weather. Sunshine, temperatures in the 70s. Gorgeous conditions that might linger through much of the weekend. Probably the nicest weekend we've seen in quite a while, Gary. 80s, sunny, including an extra day, 4th of July. So if we get 3 days of nice weather, Be the nicest weekend all year long.
We definitely deserve it after all that rain we saw, what, a month ago?
Finally deserve it.
Eric, thanks. Well, a former local high school basketball, and thank you for joining us for this half hour. I'm Gary Libitor. Get ready for a nice day ahead. Meteorologist Eric Gage over in the Weather Center. And Eric, just how nice are we talking?
Oh, beautiful weather today, Gary. To put not even sugarcoating it at all. Fantastic conditions. Look outside this morning. It is slightly cooler than yesterday in the 60s, but you got lots of that sunshine across the area early today. We're going to see a lot more of this throughout the entire afternoon. Temperatures climbing from what you see here in the low 60s in the Mohawk Valley, North Country, and Southern Valleys, up into the 80s by this afternoon. The radar picking up on mainly quiet conditions, some patchy fog in the Southern Valleys. We zoom out, all that rainfall staying out near New York City and the East Coast. So that's that rain's taking place over the morning. That rain's going to exit, but still, none of that is going to reach our area today. So today's nice, of course, elephant in the room. How's the 4th of July looking? Well, how about this? 70s, sunny, low humidity, top 10 day of the year. There will be no excuses not to be out and about on the 4th of July on Friday. So again, today, t-shirt weather, sunglasses weather, highs in the 80s. We're going to track some storms before that nice weather Friday that arrives tomorrow. We'll track that in a lot more detail in a few minutes. Gary?
Eric, thanks. The House of Representatives.
Team, where we track storms. This live look of downtown Cooperstown is brought to you by the Leatherstocking Credit Union.
Welcome back to Sunrise. Our photo of the day today takes us to Lake Delta, an amazing shot here of an adorable bunny taken by Kira. Enjoying a nice sunny day here. Look at this adorable shot zoomed in the brush sitting on a rock there. If you have a photo like this you'd like to share with us that might brighten someone's day, send it to WKTV.com/weather/pics for this chance to be photo featured right here on News Channel 2 at sunrise every weekday morning. Today's weather looking beautiful. Sunshine, low 80s. Yes, we'll be dodging a few storms tomorrow. Sunshine moves in for the 4th of July and potentially onward as well. But we're going to focus a little bit more on what happens Thursday, those storm chances, if they're widespread, how much can we expect, and if any of them are expected to be severe coming up in a few minutes. Gary?
Eric, thanks. A federal jury has reached a verdict.
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good morning. Time now 6:49 early on this Wednesday morning, and we are tracking lots of sunshine. In fact, a live look in Utica right now. Blue skies for much of the area. Yes, there's some valley fog, primarily heading closer to the southern tier, but here in the Mohawk Valley, you got this scene behind me here. 64 the temperature out there, humid conditions. We're going to see that humidity rise throughout the day a little bit, not as high as yesterday. The radar also looking dry here across the Mohawk Valley, and while things are quiet, we can talk about how the month shapes up for the beginning to the end. And from the 1st to 31st, our average high jumps up a few more degrees to 81. The low 80s is basically about as warm as we get for our average high here in central New York. Average low sitting around 60. Here's a look at the changing sunrise and sunset times. Of course, notice the sunrises get later, sunsets get earlier, about 45 minutes total losing daylight, but don't let this dampen the fact that we're entering our warmest stretch of the year. And so we are tracking still muggy conditions today and tomorrow. A cold front puts an end to it by Friday, just in time for the 4th of July. But with that cold front, as you can see here, this is the one that moved through yesterday. This is the one that arrives tomorrow. This is the second wave of it. And in the process, it could fire up a few thunderstorms. And with these storms here, level 1 out of 5 risk for severe weather. It's not high. It's similar to yesterday, matter of fact. If you saw how those storms yesterday behaved, sudden downpours, maybe some minor wind gusts, if that. Yes, we're going to monitor them for any signs of suspicious winds, but for now, similar to yesterday, expect those types of sporadic storms tomorrow. Not really widespread. In fact, we can see it right here. Dry conditions today, lots of sunshine, highs in the low 80s. By tonight, pretty beautiful evening. Tonight, we're down in the 60s by tomorrow morning. And then here comes that front by Thursday afternoon. You can see those showers and storms sporadic as they pass over us. And then by Thursday night, we have some lingering showers in the North Country that dry up just in time for the morning hours for the 4th of July. We're in the 50s to start, 70s by the afternoon. That north wind going to usher in that low humidity top 10 day of the year for July 4th. And beyond that, we look ahead to the weekend, and it still looks rather nice. The heat and humidity slowly return. But if we get 3 days straight of nice weather, including the 4th of July, following that Saturday and Sunday, Gary, this could be the nicest stretch of weather we've seen for a weekend and probably near close to a year.
Yeah.
So it's been quite a while.
And definitely dew, that's for sure.
Yes.
Eric, thanks. July is ice cream month. Reporting from New York City. Meteorologist Eric Gage joining us. And Eric, as you mentioned earlier, a very gorgeous summer day out there.
It's beautiful. We're already climbing into the upper 70s, low 80s. Lots of sun. In fact, a live look out in Oneonta right now. You can see the gorgeous blue skies out there. Not a drop of rain expected today. Now, there are some days where, yeah, there could be an isolated shower, isolated downpour. That's not the case today. Entirely dry, no risk of any rainfall whatsoever. The radar showing up with, again, dry conditions here locally. That front that moved through yesterday still slowly inching off the coast. It's turned pretty much stationary, slowly exiting New York City, which has been pretty unsettled and rainy for much of the morning hours. Still, though, today is nice. How about the 4th of July? That's the most important forecast here. And, I mean, you could just look at these here and let the numbers and icons tell you here. It's going to be in the 70s with sunshine, low humidity, a top 10 day of the year, which just so happens to fall on one of the most important days of the year. So we got to look forward to that too. Again, it's a beautiful summer afternoon, slightly humid, temperatures in the low 80s. Although we have a nice day today and on Friday, we have to get through a round of potential storms tomorrow as a secondary cold front moves through. We're going to track the timing of that and how much rain, if any, severe weather is expected coming up in a few minutes. Gary?
Eric, thanks. We are following some breaking news.
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good afternoon, everybody. On this Wednesday, it is turning out to be a lovely day. One of the nicest summer days so far this year. We're in the low 80s, lots of sunshine. Live look outside. Utica seeing all of that sun today. Temperatures in the upper 70s right now. It's going to warm a few more degrees with that consistent sun this afternoon. Still a southwest wind ushering in that slightly humid air, and that will keep things on the warm side for later this evening and early tonight. Radar, same story, showing quiet conditions. In fact, it's great grilling weather today as well as on the 4th of July for Friday. So if you're wondering when it's time to start grilling some of those dogs and hamburgers, you got a great day today and, of course, later on this week for it. You might be able to tomorrow, but with the risk of storms here and there, if you have the opportunity to reschedule it or planning it, again, today and Friday, your best bets. Still, though, this month, with the quiet weather today, doing a quick overview of how the temperatures and sunrises and sunsets change. We gain a few more degrees for our average high. The warmest time of the year is late July here in central New York. From now to the 31st, we're going to gain a few more degrees there. And yes, the sunrises and sunsets, they'll progressively, the sunsets will get earlier and the sunrises get later. We lose about 45 minutes of daylight, which again is really not a whole lot, especially with the fact that we're still seeing post 8 p.m. sunsets, which a lot of you are looking forward to, especially in the middle of summer. Humidity still pretty muggy today and tomorrow. The humidity drops on Friday because of this secondary cold front right here. There's the one that moved through yesterday. Here's the one that moves through tomorrow. In the midst of it, there could be a strong storm or two that fires up. A lot of this activity takes place south and east of us, just like what happened yesterday. Main risks being heavy rainfall. If you encountered a storm yesterday, whatever you experienced in that, there might be a similar case for tomorrow. So on our Skycast, sunshine, lots of it today. High temperatures in the low 80s. By tonight, pretty average, mild, lows in the upper 50s, low 60s. And after a dry start Thursday, here comes that cold front. Again, like yesterday, it's not widespread rain. It's sporadic, on and off showers and downpours and thunderstorms as they push east. We'll watch the radar, but for now, a lot of that activity looks to be non-severe. Then after some lingering showers in the overnight hours up in the North Country, by Friday morning for the 4th of July, starts out on the cooler side, upper 50s, but we warm up into the 70s by the afternoon. That north wind is the key here. In the middle of summer, you get that north wind, you get that fresh Canadian air, low humidity, lots of sunshine, and most importantly, dry weather, which looks to likely stick around throughout much of the weekend. Low 80s Saturday, upper 80s on Sunday. So although, yes, the heat and humidity slowly return, this could be one of the nicest weekends we've had in quite a while, Gary. Not only 2 nice days for the weekend, but also the extra day on the 4th of July, ushering in lots of sunshine. So if this holds, beautiful weekend ahead.
We can't ask for any better.
I know.
Eric, thanks. Well, one of the busiest travel weeks of the... And that was Lee Waldman reporting from New York City. Meteorologist Eric Gage joining us now, and as we mentioned, it is extremely gorgeous out there.
Beautiful summer day out there today. A lot of folks out and about in Cooperstown. Obviously, I took a drive down there the other day to the Oneonta Cooperstown area. So many baseball families, of course, today, but they're enjoying the nice upstate New York weather. Let's take a look outside again in Cooperstown. Beautiful scene out there. Lots of sunshine, dry weather on the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 live radar. We zoom out to the south and to the east, where again there's that rainfall exiting. That's really the only rainfall activity we can detect for the short term today. So again, not a drop of rain is expected today. Great news when you have any evening plans, even afternoon plans. Great dog walking weather, grilling weather, you name it. And on top of that, we got a beautiful day expected for the 4th of July. Temperatures in the 70s, lots of sun, and low humidity. We've got that north wind kicking in as we head into this early start of the holiday weekend. And in fact, today, although it is a little more humid, a little warmer, this is a beautiful summer day out there today. Now, yes, we have nice weather today and on Friday. We're tracking a cold front tomorrow that could usher in a few showers, maybe a few storms. We're going to track that coming up in a few minutes. Gary?
Eric, thanks. President Trump's so-called big...
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good afternoon, everybody. It's a beautiful summertime day out there today. Lots of sun. Yeah, noticeable humidity, but as expected in summertime. A look outside, gorgeous bluebird skies out there out in the city, as well as pretty much all of central New York. Maybe a few puffy cumulus clouds here and there, especially earlier this morning, and a lot more of them as you head up into the Adirondacks. But temperatures, you can see here, 77, expected to climb into the low 80s. Look ahead to the afternoon. Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 live radar showing dry conditions today. Great weather for grilling. Not only today, but also, most importantly, for the 4th of July. Have any cookouts in the evening? You got fantastic weather for it. Well, maybe not so much for Thursday, though. We're going to be dodging a few showers and storms. Well, if you want to try your luck, go right ahead, but I would avoid it. Maybe just do it Wednesday and Friday instead. And with the quiet weather today, just showing quickly what we can expect for this month on average. Our normal high goes from 79 to 81, a few degrees warmer, but again, this is the warmest time of the year here in central New York, which is late July. And although we do get warmer, well, the sunrises and sunsets change a little bit too. We actually go backwards after, of course, the summer solstice. Overall, we lose about 45 minutes of daylight, so it's not bad. We're still post 8 p.m. sunsets and pre 5 a.m. sunrises, so even though we lose a little bit of daylight, it's not really that noticeable, at least not until we get closer to the fall equinox. So the weather today, it's dry. It is still a little humid out there, and it's going to be humid for tomorrow as well until that cold front moves through. It's going to whisk away a lot of that moisture in the atmosphere. And here's that cold front. There's the one that arrived yesterday. This one's going to catch up to it slowly. This turned a little bit stationary out here. And in the process, it'll fire up a few thunderstorms and showers in parts of our area. It's not widespread, similar to yesterday. Hit or miss showers and storms, but the impacts are likely what took place yesterday. If you got through one of those showers or storms, they were mainly heavy rain, a lot of bark and no bite. And we're expecting the same tomorrow, but we're going to closely watch the radar, and we'll let you know, of course, if anything does seem suspicious. But for now, it's not really that big of a risk. So in our Skycast today, lots of sunshine, 80-degree temperatures. As we look ahead to tonight, overnight lows fall into the 60s. By tomorrow, sunshine turns to, right here, rain chances, sporadic, spotty showers. As we look ahead to the overnight, lingering rainfall in the Adirondacks. It dries out with sunshine moving in for the 4th of July. And the key here is that north wind. You see those little arrows pushing south? That means with that north wind, we get that fresh Canadian air. Low humidity, 70s, sunshine, top 10 day of the year for your July 4th. And not only that, but the good news continues on. We could have a completely dry weekend, Gary, for Saturday and Sunday. I mean, the last time we've seen a showerless Saturday been quite a while. So if we get 3 days straight of sunshine lining up with the weekend, wow, maybe the best news we've sent out from the weather department in quite a while when it comes to weekend forecasts.
Can't remember a full 3-day weekend like that.
Yeah, that's been quite a while, Gary.
Eric, thanks. Well, emergency doctors are sounding the alarm as President
Trump on the forecast with Bill Curtis.
So nice outside. Absolutely beautiful day. Lots and lots of sunshine. We're going to hold on to this nice weather this evening. The weather will change tomorrow. We do have a cold front moving in. Some showers and thunderstorms, but that's going to set the stage for an absolutely beautiful 4th of July. Again, things look pretty quiet out there this evening. We're expecting dry weather to continue. Temperature of 81 degrees. It's less humid out there compared to yesterday. The dew point's down about 10 degrees. So yes, still feels slightly humid, but again, it's all relative this time of the year anyway. Scattered storms will be around tomorrow. I'm not expecting anything strong, but we will see a few of those. A beautiful July 4th, then the weather turns hot as we head into early next week. This evening, temperatures will drop into the 70s. Again, a really nice evening ahead. A nice stretch of weather as we head into the holiday weekend. I've got to look at the forecast coming up. James, back to you.
Bill, thank you. New Hartford Police.
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's Chief Meteorologist Bill Curtis.
Good evening. A beautiful day across central New York. Let's take a live look at the Yorkville Battery Stern Tracker 2 Doppler radar. Nice and dry. It's going to be a nice evening here. Temperature of 81 degrees in downtown Utica. Enjoy it. We do have rain chances ahead. It looks like tomorrow we have the chance of thunderstorms. The severe weather risk is not that high. We've opted to not make this an alert day. There is the chance that we could have a few isolated strong storms, similar to what we saw yesterday for tomorrow. And the risk is going to be slightly higher south and east of Utica. Again, be on the lookout for gusty winds and locally heavy rain. And just a reminder, even if there's an isolated storm, if it hits you, it's a different story. And it's always helpful to have weather alerts on the go. If you're going to be outdoors tomorrow, download our Storm Tracker 2 weather app. Once we get through tomorrow, the weather looks dry. It looks like we're going to have an extended period of dry weather just in time for the holiday weekend. So for farmers that are looking to bale hay, it looks like it's going to be good weather to do that beginning Friday. A stretch of dry weather is expected to continue into the weekend. And the overall trend is for hotter weather. We had a warmer than average June, and it looks like we're going to be continuing in that trend throughout the month of July, it looks like temperatures will be above average. One thing we're also watching too, there's a very light amount of smoke from wildfires in Canada that will be dropping in from the north tomorrow, and that's mainly because the winds will be turning into the northwest. It's not going to have a huge impact on air quality, a very minor impact, but again, it's worth noting that this will be lingering around through Thursday, and then winds change direction, and that will help clear this out, the little that's there as we head into the weekend. 81 degrees in West Berlin, 84 in Little Falls, Dolgeville 83, across Southern Valleys, Sherburne 86, Cooperstown 81, and Oneonta with 79. Sunshine continues as we head into this evening. A cold front drops in from the west. You can see a few scattered showers and storms in Michigan. That's going to be arriving tomorrow. And again, it does bring a few scattered showers and storms. Tonight, partly cloudy skies. Overnight lows drop down into the 60s. Cold front arrives fairly early in the day. It's the late morning to early afternoon. Again, scattered storms expected. Temperatures will climb to near 80 degrees. Tomorrow night, skies remain clear. We're down into the 50s, so a cool night. And then the 4th of July looks absolutely spectacular. Sunshine, comfortable. Temperatures in the mid to upper 70s. We'll drop into the 50s again Friday night. Increasing clouds, low of 61. Tomorrow, scattered storms, 78 for the high. Storm Tracker 2 7-day forecast. Looks nice heading into the weekend. 85 Saturday. Hot and humid Sunday, 91. Thunderstorms arrive Monday as a cold front rolls through. Temperatures drop into the 80s Tuesday and Wednesday. Perfect timing for nice weather.
All right, about time, right?
Yeah.
All right,
Bill, thank you.
Well, one of the
Chief Meteorologist Bill Curtis.
Beautiful day today. Nice weather means we can see some interesting things in the sky. You look closely on the screen here in the center. It looks like an upside down rainbow. This is called a circumzenithal arc. It's kind of like a sundog, but it forms in a very different way, and it's caused by reflection of ice crystals high in the sky. This picture from Sarah, this was taken yesterday, and pretty neat to see that in the sky. We're looking at warmer weather here as we look down the road. A couple of nice days ahead tomorrow, Friday, temperatures in the 70s, and then the heat starts to build in. I think we'll have our 4th 90-degree day of the summer by Sunday if we can get enough sunshine. Live look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar. Again, it's a quiet evening. It should be a great evening to take the dog for a walk. Check out Gus from Utica, hanging out, staying cool. And again, it should be a nice evening here across central New York. This is brought to you by Nissan. We're taking a look at a very nice 4th of July, weather-wise. Look at the forecast coming up. Kristen, back to you.
Staying active is a critical component of being healthy.
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's Chief Meteorologist Bill Curtis.
Good evening, a beautiful day across central New York. A live look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar. It's going to stay dry and sunny this evening. We'll see some clouds return tonight. 4th of July looks nice. We'll skip ahead to Friday here just to show you that we're expecting sunshine, comfortable conditions, temperatures in the 70s, low humidity. Just a really nice day to be outside. 81 degrees in downtown Utica. Again, looking at lots and lots of sunshine across central New York. We do have a cold front that arrives tomorrow, and there is the chance for severe weather. It's pretty low, just like yesterday. I think there will be a couple of scattered storms here. A couple of them could be on the strong side, but the risk is pretty isolated, so it's not an alert day tomorrow. However, it only takes one in the wrong spot. And just a reminder, if you are on the go tomorrow, if you're outdoors, you want a way to get weather warnings to your phone, an easy way to do that is to download our Storm Tracker 2 weather app. On the backside of this cold front, the winds turn into the northwest, and that does bring in some very light wildfire smoke from Canada. Yes, Canada is still having wildfires. There's not quite as many as last month, but they're still there. And again, it's going to have a very minor impact on air quality. If you're really sensitive, you might notice, but to the average person, it really is just going to be another day. Whitesboro, 81 degrees. West Leiden, 79. Our Skywatchers checking in. Helena Cassville, a breezy 79. Jeff and Mohawk, 80. Westford, 78 degrees. Paynes Hollow with 78. Again, we're tracking a cold front moving in from the west. Some scattered storms in Michigan. So you can see the front's not super active. That's the kind of weather we're expecting tomorrow. Tonight, mostly clear skies early, and then some clouds will arrive late. Temperatures drop into the low 60s. Chance of a passing shower or storm tomorrow. I don't think everybody gets wet. Temperatures will be near 80 degrees. Tomorrow night, mostly clear skies. We're down into the 50s, so a rare night in the 50s here. You don't get too many of them in July. Clear skies here for, again, the 4th of July. Should be a beautiful afternoon. Temperatures in the 70s. And a nice weekend looks to follow. Increasing clouds tonight, low temperature of 61. Tomorrow, scattered storms. Again, an isolated strong storm, 78 for the high. Storm Tracker 2, 7-day forecast. July 4th looks like a beautiful day, 77, down into the 50s at night. Saturday, Sunday, it looks like a nice weekend, but it warms up fast. 85 on Saturday, mostly sunny skies. Sunday, 91. Could we get 2 fully dry days? We'll see. We'll have to watch the end of Sunday here because we've got a cold front on the way that produces some showers and storms Monday. Temperatures will be in the low 80s Tuesday and Wednesday. We'll be right back.
Meteorologist Bill Cardis.
Beautiful day today. Lots of sunshine. Temperatures in the low 80s will stay dry this evening. This is a live look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar. The biggest change, the dew point, 60 degrees. It is a lot less humid now compared to yesterday. 81 degrees, just a beautiful day. The humidity is going to stay on the lower side here over the next couple of days. Big change in the weather tomorrow. Cold front's on the way. Could produce a few scattered storms. A lot of these are not expected to be strong, but a couple of them could be strong. We're looking at a nice 4th of July, and then the heat is back and in full force as we head into the end of the weekend. Sunny skies this evening. Beautiful temperature, beautiful skies. Comfortable temperatures in the 70s. Again, we're looking at nice weather heading into the 4th of July. If we're going to look at the forecast coming up. Kristen, back to you.
The need is already.
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's Chief Meteorologist Bill Cardis.
Good evening. Beautiful conditions today. The weather's going to change tomorrow. We do have a cold front on the way. But if you're heading out this evening, the weather looks really nice. This is a live look at the Yorkville Battery Storm Tracker 2 Doppler radar. 81 degrees, bright blue sunny skies. It's a live look in downtown Utica. Again, a lovely afternoon. We do have the chance for a couple of strong storms tomorrow. The risk is isolated like yesterday. I think very few places will get anything that could cause some problems here. And the primary concern to be gusty winds and locally heavy rain. Again, we'll continue to keep an eye on things because it's not enough for an alert day, but again, if it's in the wrong place, the wrong time, it could still have an impact here. And we're recommending folks download our Storm Tracker 2 weather app. If you're going to be on the go, this is a way where you can get weather information quickly. Again, tomorrow afternoon will be the chance of those storms. After this cold front rolls through, we have a stretch of consecutive dry days ahead. Should be nice weather for farmers that are baling hay. Starting Friday, I think we're going to have 3 days in a row that look dry across central New York. With the winds changing direction tomorrow in the wake of this cold front, that also brings in some very light wildfire smoke from Canada. Yes, those are still ongoing. There's different fires that have been happening over the past couple of weeks. And with the wind direction changing, we will see a very minor impact on air quality tomorrow. If you're really sensitive to this, you might notice it. I think the average person, though, wouldn't know any different. Whitesboro, 81 degrees. Howland and Cassville, 79. Jeff and Mohawk, 80. Skidivas, 85. Evanston, 77. Some scattered storms will be arriving tomorrow. The cold front is to our west in Michigan. And again, that arrives tomorrow afternoon. Clear skies tonight, at least early on. Some clouds will fill in late. Temperatures drop into the low 60s. Chance of a shower or thunderstorm tomorrow. Again, an isolated stronger storm is possible. High temperatures in the upper 70s. Clear skies tomorrow night. That's going to set the stage for a cool night. We're down into the 50s. July 4th looks really nice. We're looking at lots of sunshine, low humidity, very comfortable conditions for outdoor activities. Temperatures in the 70s. Increasing clouds tonight, low of 61. Tomorrow, scattered storms, 78. Storm Tracker 2 7-day forecast. Beautiful 4th of July, a high of 77. Sunny skies. The weekend looks nice too. Mostly sunny. Saturday, 85. It's hot, it's humid. Sunday, 91. And then a cold front arrives Monday with cooler weather to follow Tuesday and Wednesday.
All right, Bill, thank you.
Still to come on News Channel